Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dale Stonick. I'm Director of Safety here at Ace Doran. I'd like to thank you for dialing in and listening to us this afternoon. With us today, we have a large group of individuals, very esteemed, no doubt. We have Don Laymiller. He's an owner-operator and co-chair of our Driver Advisory Board. Don, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Thank you. Also with us, Jim Collins, President of ACE. Jim?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Lauren Bailey will be joining us, too. He's the Owner-Operator Advisory Services President of that organization. Lauren?
Great. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Doing good, Lauren.
Also with us is Chad. He's the Director of Operations here at ACE. Chad Leiter, how are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone.
David Lowry, CEO of Bennett Motor Express. We're very grateful to have him here today. David, how are you?
Great, Dale. How's everybody doing?
We're doing wonderful. And then also joining us here shortly will be Chris Zapowski. He's the Vice President of Marketing at Bennett International. Jim, do you want to get us started?
Sure. You did pretty good with Zapkowski. You only missed it by a little bit.
Hey, I know the R was silent.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. As Dale mentioned, I'm the one that puts the agenda together for these calls, and I was looking at what I had set up for today, and I think we've got 7 speakers, so might have gotten a little overzealous, but I think you'll find it interesting. We want to talk about Driver Appreciation Week, which is coming up in September, and a lot of other topics that I think you'll find interesting. So again, my name is Jim Collins, President of ACE. I think most of you probably know me. We've done a lot of these calls, and thank you guys, everyone, for being on the call. As in the past, I'd like to say, welcome, and we just hope that all the drivers and your families and everyone is doing okay and staying okay through this COVID situation. Before we go any further, I would like to just pause for a moment. We lost 2 Ace Doran owner-operators just this past weekend. Dennis Stangl. Dennis ran for Chad and Shelley Marsh out of Carrollton, Kentucky. Had a sudden event, and we lost Dennis on Saturday, and then early Sunday morning I got a call from Russ McGee and Art Carpenter, a longtime Ace Doran owner-operator who actually had left ACE for a while and recently came back. Art passed this weekend as well. So I'd ask that everyone on the call please keep the Stangl and Carpenter families in your prayers. Those were a couple of good guys and a big loss for the ACE family. Also just wanted to mention quickly Hurricane Laura. I think most of you are aware of it. Recent guidance says that it may increase up to a Category 4, which is a very, very serious storm. So anybody that's listening to this call that is anywhere in the path of that hurricane, please be safe and get to a safe place. If you have a load on, just communicate with your load coordinators or agents, but your safety is number one, so please be aware and keep that in mind. Briefly, I'll go over the numbers. I don't want to bore you with a lot of minutia. I'll just say that we're very, very happy with the way things are rebounding. For those of you that have been on this call for the last several months, you might remember back in April we were down over 23% off of plan, excuse me, which is a pretty significant hit. And more importantly to the owner-operators, your all's business was probably down, like numbers. So we recognize that things got pretty painful for all of you and for us several months ago. But I'm really happy to report that, as a company, the numbers have continually gotten better through May, June, and July. June and July in particular, the wind division really started surging, no pun intended. And they've just been running wide open in June, July, and August. So again, I'm really happy to report that as of today, what we call ACE WOW, which is without the wind, we're about 6% ahead of plan in August. That's the first time we've been ahead of plan since, I guess, actually back in March. So it's been a long uphill climb, but things are really trending nicely. And again, my message to all of you is that I hope your revenues and your businesses are feeling that as well. ACE All, which includes all of our divisions, warehousing, wind, government, everything, we're actually 22% ahead of plan so far for August. So considering where we were back in April and where we are now, it's really, really encouraging to see. So my thanks to all of you on the call, owner-operators, agents, employees, company stores. Everybody's done a really nice job of hanging in there and getting us back where we need to be. So thank you. And again, my biggest hope is that all of you are getting back more to a level that you're accustomed to as well. So that's really about all I had. Again, we've got quite a few people to speak today. I did ask Chris Zepkowski to join us. Chris is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Bennett family of companies. It's been a challenge this year for all of us to plan how we're going to do Driver Appreciation Week, which is September the 14th through September the 18th. So a number of people at Bennett, led by Chris and Lee Gentry predominantly, have come up with a new virtual Driver Appreciation Week, and we wanted to share with you today kind of how that might look. Chris, are you on the call?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey, good afternoon. Yes, you sound great.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks, Jim, for having me on your call today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to being in front of and with all of the ACE Doran drivers during Driver Appreciation Week. As you said, we didn't normally, traditionally, we like to get together for barbecues and shaking hands and having giveaways and that kind of stuff. And we just didn't feel it was quite right in this environment this year to try to encourage everybody to get together. And yet we pride ourselves on our driving force, knowing how much we appreciate all of them. So we've been putting a lot of effort into trying to figure out how to do a virtual driver appreciation this year. And for those that have been here with us the past few years, you'll know that a lot of times we focus, kind of one big day of the week. And this year we thought, well, we're going to ask you guys to join us for every day of the week if you can. It's going to be Driver Appreciation Week, but we're going to divide each day into special recognition for different parts of our driving force. So starting Monday, the 14th of September, we're going to have a kickoff event at noon Eastern, and you'll join us either via what you're hearing right now, which is a teleforum. If you're just with us, via audio, that's great. Glad to be able to be with you in the cab of your truck. And we'll also do it on Facebook Live, so you can kind of see what we're talking about and doing. So you can join us either way. Noon Eastern is our first event on Monday, the 14th of September. We'll talk about our Driver Relief Fund. We'll hear from some folks that have taken advantage of that. And for every one of these events, we are also sponsored by some of our partners. So we'll introduce some of our partners at the kickoff event, and then we will have some fantastic giveaways. And just so you know, the giveaways will get better the longer you stay on the calls. So, by all means join us, but by all means stay with us the whole time, because they're just going to get better and better. So noon on Monday is our kickoff event, and then Monday afternoon, we're calling it Million Miler Monday, so we will be featuring our Million Milers at 2 o'clock Eastern. So that will be in the afternoon. On Tuesday, we will have a couple of things going on. The Dave Nemo Show is going to be featuring the Truckload Carriers Association. Bennett and ACE Doran are members of TCA, and they will be hosting a driver appreciation discussion with Dave Nemo. So for those folks that are Dave Nemo fans, you'll hear Lee Gentry on that time. And that's at 9 in the morning, and maybe 8:45 in the morning Eastern time on Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, we are so proud to present our Women Drivers of Excellence Award winners at 2 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday, the 15th of September. We're so proud to be able to award those winners across all of our divisions, and so we look forward to that event every year on Tuesday, Women Driver of Excellence. Wednesday, we're going to be doing a special event recognizing our heroes that did a great job during the pandemic. So we're calling them Pandemic Heroes, and for those that faithfully served and stuck with us out on the roads during that time between mid-March and early July during the toughest of times in the pandemic. We look forward to recognizing our pandemic heroes. On Thursday, 17th of September at noon Eastern, we will be awarding a few things. Our driver relief raffle winners across all of our divisions. So I know Jim is going to walk through the program that you guys are doing for driver relief, but we will announce the winners on Thursday the 17th. Our safety truck contest that was put on by the safety department to win the Ford F-150 in the fleet, that will be awarded, as well as any of the other prizes that come out of that program. That will be on 17th of September at noon. In the evening, and I literally just got off the phone with her, we're really excited because we've got Lindsay Lawler that's going to help us put on an entertainment program at 7 o'clock p.m. After hopefully most people are taking their breaks and off the road, so that you can join us for some entertainment, as well as we're calling it our partner showcase. So some additional trucking partners that we have that are great supporters of Bennett and ACE that provide discount programs and services for our drivers. And again, the longer you stay with us, the bigger the prizes are. So that'll be a fun experience on 7 o'clock that evening. And then we wrap up Driver Appreciation Week with our Wreath Across America Day, and that will be starting at noon on Friday the 18th. We will feature our programs that have raised money to put the wreaths on the veterans' grave sites in Andersonville National Cemetery, featuring a lot of the fundraising efforts we've done, the custom wrap trucks. We have some entertainment planned for that time as well as some excellent special guests, some nationally recognized speakers that will be on that program. That's Friday at noon. Every day of the week, we are going to have, at our different terminals, we will have food being given out, grab-and-go food. We're trying to be, instead of doing big barbecues and things, we'll have sandwiches available, things that our different terminals are coming up with to give to drivers to take away for lunch on all those days of the week. And if you can't get to a terminal, we are also going to be putting Subway gift cards and Dunkin' gift cards up onto Driver's IG and onto the Facebook groups. And here's how it's going to work. We tested this out last year, and I don't think everybody quite understood it, so I'll explain it here. When we put a Subway gift card out on Driver's IG, you go to Subway, you grab a meal, you go up to the register, and you take your phone, and if the Subway location can accept e-gift cards, you'll just hold up the little QR code that we post on Driver's IG, and that'll pay for your food. And so we put, X amount of dollars onto a gift card on Monday, and it gets used up by all of our drivers in the fleet until it's gone. And so it's like a first come, first serve honor system. Imagine basically just Bennett's giving you a gift card, you go and buy a meal on us. So we're going to do that for Subway, we're going to do that for Dunkin', and we'll see how it goes. We certainly want to make sure that everybody gets a free meal on Bennett during the week so that we can show our appreciation to y'all. So that, Jim, is just a little overview of the week. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted me to touch on, but that's kind of the plan.
Sure. No, Chris, that's great. I got to give you guys a lot of credit. I remember a month or 6 weeks ago when I got the first invite for the first meeting about a virtual driver appreciation. I kind of thought, now that's going to be interesting. How's that going to work? But you and Lee and the rest of Tamerlan and the rest of the team have done a great job. I do want to mention that A&H Trucking, RH in Cleveland, Bill and Sandy Hogue, Andrea, Mark, and the gang, they are also participating in this year again. We thank them for that. They're also going to have the grab-and-go lunch concept there. So, no, Chris, I think that covers it from kind of the Bennett family of companies level. And next we'd like to talk a little bit about some of the A-Storm specific things, but just thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that information today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and just really hope that all the drivers pay, just a couple of things. If you could definitely pay attention to Facebook or Driver's IG as we advertise the events, and please take as much time as you can, hopefully, to join us on those days. You will get a dial-out from our teleforum system, just as you had from today's call, so apologize in advance. I guess if you get tired of us ringing out to ask you to join us, you basically have the opportunity to not if you just hang up the phone. But if you do choose to join us, we would really appreciate it. We want as many folks on these calls as we can to enjoy, all the different guests that we'll be having to recognize you, and we will be certainly calling out drivers by name to thank them for their service to Bennett and to ACE. So we ask and look forward to your participation, and we ask and look forward to your feedback. You can always feedback to us on Facebook or call your dispatcher or corporate office if you like or dislike what we're doing. It's the first time, how can you do virtual without having a first? So we'll see how it goes. But thank you all for your service. So thanks, Jim. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Chris, appreciate you. Thank you. Why don't we go next to Dale, if it's okay? Let's go to Don Laymiller. I think Don was going to talk a little bit about the ACE Doran Driver Relief Fund, fundraising efforts, and that sort of thing. So, Don?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I was going to talk to everybody about the Driver Relief Fund. The Driver Relief Fund is about drivers helping drivers. Our family of drivers donate every year to the Driver Relief Fund, and that allows us to help other drivers. It can be done through one-time settlements, one-time donations through settlements. We do our fundraiser, which I'm getting ready to tell everybody about, and I think we put together a pretty cool package for not being in person this year. Our donations, we will raise them during the Driver Appreciation Week. And then one thing to remember is that we will get a match up to $10,000. So if we raise $10,000 this week or over the next couple weeks, Marcy at Bennett is going to match us for our Driver Relief Fund, which she has done year over year and has really helped us raise enough money to be able to help people. And we do this for injury and illness. Even some of our employees are donating to the relief fund, even though that they don't get any benefits from this. That's how much I think everybody here cares about all of our drivers. So how it works is you can make a one-time donation directly to the fund, and then you can also set up a weekly or by load, whether it be $1, $2, or whatever you want. And you can start and stop that also whenever you want. You just call into payroll, and they can set you up with that real easy. It doesn't take much time at all. And then we give back to, the drivers. And I donate, but I really hope that I never need it, which we hope nobody ever needs it. But unfortunately, like Jim said, we've had a couple people pass away. The Driver Relief Fund stepped in and give the family some direct relief just to help with final expenses or whatever they may need. We've also helped drivers that are just sick. We're going to help a team that his wife has cancer again, and this is going to be a long-term thing, and the Driver Relief Fund is going to be there to help. So that's just some of the stuff that we do, And if you have anybody or know anybody that might need it, you can call Violet Helfrich, Jerry Wise, or myself. You can also call into Central Dispatch, talk to Cindy or Chad. Any of those people can take the information and get it to the Driver Relief Fund and the board members. And then we have our prizes coming up and our giveaways. So we do our raffle tickets every year. We're going to have a set of steer tires brought to you by Ziegler. That's $20 a ticket or 6 tickets for $100. And then we also have a $500 gift card and a $250 gift card. That's $5 each ticket or 3 for $10. And then anytime you purchase any of these tickets, you're going to be put into another drawing, an extra drawing, for one of 5 $100 TMI gift cards for down there in Walton, Kentucky, and then one $100 West Coast Permits gift card. So anytime you buy a ticket from anybody for this raffle, you'll automatically be entered in the 5 $100 gift cards and the $100 gift card. So that's pretty cool. And then we've started something new this year since we're not going to be in person taking donations like we have been before at our big barbecue and everything. we have set up a tier system. So if you donate $10, you're going to get this really cool Ace Doran really fun sticker and a lapel pin. If you donate $50, you're going to get a die cut sticker, the label pin, and a stainless steel tumbler, all embroidered with Ace Doran. And then for $150, you're going to get the cup, the pin, the tumbler. You're also going to get a really cool red embroidered hard hat. It's got Ace Doran on it. And then if you donate $250, you're going to get all that plus this really cool red and black checkered Ace Doran blanket. So these are the tiers. If you donate one time, or if you have been donating throughout the year, that is going to go towards the amount that you've donated to the which tier you're going to get. We should be sending out the flyers to those, so everybody will see them. It'll make a little more sense if I haven't explained it real well.
No, I think you did great, Don. It's, like you said, basically it kind of builds. So for $10, you get and those stickers are good for putting on the trucks to show that you've provided support to the relief fund. So as your donations go up, basically the different prizes or things that you get for your level of donation go up accordingly. So I think it's a great concept, Don. I'm really anxious to see how it goes.
Don, I'd just like to thank you, Jerry, and Violet for serving on the Driver Relief Board Fund. I know you guys put a lot of time into that, and there's, a lot of things to consider when people ask for money. And I'd also just like to point out we get a lot of support from agents donating to this fund also. That's really nice to see the level of support we get across all of the individuals here at ACE.
And as Don mentioned earlier, I don't want to mention the number of employees, but it's a significant number, that also do weekly paycheck donations to the fund, which I think is really cool. So you're right, it's supported by employees, drivers, agents. It's really awesome.
It is
Don,
a very unique and amazing system.
Yeah, don't tell him Bennett drivers, 'cause I don't think they've got all that.
Yeah, I kind of heard what Charles and some of the other groups were doing, and we talked about it, and I don't know who actually came up with this concept. I think it may have been Don, but there were others involved as well, and we kind of came up with this tiered concept, so it's really cool. I'm really anxious so really about no matter what level somebody participates, they're going to get, some Ace Doran emblazoned stuff, so it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, not counting all the goodwill.
That's exactly right.
True.
That's exactly right.
All righty. I just want to remind everyone listening, if you have a question or comment, to hit *3. You'll get in the queue, and at the end of the program, we'll take your question. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to a safety segment here. I just want to talk a little about a couple of things that are coming up or some things that we've seen. As Jim mentioned earlier, we're doing a little bit better this month as far as revenue. Unfortunately, accidents are also trending. I don't want to call it better, but we're definitely spending more on accidents than we should. It's been a very expensive year, especially we keep on hitting parked vehicles in tight location areas, so I can't stress enough to our drivers, please get out and look. If you're close enough, park your truck, take a walk around, make sure we're not going to hit that vehicle. Hitting those gets to be pretty pricey for us. So the other thing is we're on oversized loads. Please be aware of overheads. We've had a bridge strike, and then we've also hit tree limbs damaging cargoes and other stationary signs. So please be aware of that. We want to minimize that, get through the rest of the year, and get this trend turned around and going in the right direction that it should be, because we have some of the best drivers. Let's make sure we can demonstrate that on the road. Third quarter safety meetings are available out on Drivers IG. Right now, it's been fairly light participation. Let's get that completed here before the end of September. We're down to 5 weeks left before this quarter's out. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can come here to Cincinnati. We've had a couple of drivers one-off come in, and I'll do safety meetings with you there. And then we've had one meeting, a Zoom virtual meeting. Ryan Lay within the WIN group assembled 12 drivers and we
Oh,
got
really?
dialed up. Yep.
That's
we did a
cool.
virtual in-person safety meeting. So
Yeah.
got my ugly mug on the big screen at some restaurant out there in Brandon, South Dakota, and we did one. So
That's great. Good
Yep.
deal.
Yep. So there's ways to still make things happen. Also in September, hours of service, there are 4 changes coming up. I just want to remind our drivers that is happening. So everyone who is on an ELD box, those changes will take place, and you won't notice the difference. But the biggest one that I think that will affect our fleet is the 30-minute break. So you no longer have to be in an off-duty mode. You can take your 30-minute break while on duty. So that will qualify. You know, if you're fueling, whatever, as long as you get 30 minutes, you will still qualify for that break. I know this was supposed to happen back in May, but it got postponed, but the 72-hour roadside blitz is scheduled for September 9th through 11th. The FMCSA says this year they are focusing on driver requirements, so CDL, medical exam, periodic inspection reports, DVRs, duty statuses. So let's please make sure we are ready and prepared for that. We're current with everything, and we have no reason to be written up by roadside inspectors. And then I want to talk a little bit about dash cams. We've talked about that the last few times, but we are in the process of getting our drivers switched over to cloud-based dash cams. I know Jason, Pat, and Alexander have been placing calls, and they're moving into that process. So that's going to continue throughout the rest of the year, but we're starting to make a little bit of headway, so we want to keep that going. There's a lot of great benefits of having those cloud-based cameras. And then finally, I want to talk about COVID-19, just reminding everybody, we do get emails from our customers just wanting us to remind our drivers, please follow their procedures when you're in the facilities, do as they ask, so have face covering, keep your hands clean or sanitize and keep social distancing and whatever else they need you to do, but please follow their procedures. So I'm going to go ahead and just remind everybody star 3 and turn it over to Jim.
Just real quick, Dale, since you mentioned customers, and then I wanted to ask David Lowry if he would speak a little bit next. But got a notice from Nucor the other day. This is something that I've never seen, and it's probably the first of many because in our industry, that's typically the way things seem to go. It basically starts out talking about COVID-19 and being safe and so on and so forth. But then it talks about keeping their employees safe and teammates valued and appreciated. And it says, for that reason, we ask that all offensive, racist, vulgar, or discriminatory symbols, language, or images be removed from your vehicles or equipment prior to entering any Nucor facility. If found in non-compliance with these guidelines, we reserve the right to deny access to our facility. So I know the vast majority of our owner-operators on the call and in our fleet don't have anything on the truck like that, but just be aware that now that's a policy for Nucor, and I don't know exactly what kind of things they're talking about, but offensive, racist, vulgar, discriminatory symbols, languages, or images. So just keep that in mind. That's probably going to become more and more a thing. So with that, David, Dale mentioned the safety meetings, the safety bonus, and also talked a little bit about dash cams. Could we ask you to comment on a couple of those things, please?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for inviting me on the call again this month. But first, before I get into that, I just got to tell you guys, all of you, the whole ACE group, just kudos, congratulations for the rebound out of COVID and some of the lowest points we ever seen since we've been in business. To rebound, maybe not up to exactly where we want to be, but right now it's looking like that's not because of freight, because freight's bouncing back really strong. It's just getting caught back up. But I was just looking at some stuff here that you guys have already rebounded over 20 cents a mile increases over where we was at back in, I believe it was in April. So that's just phenomenal. And hitting your numbers, in your budget numbers and all divisions, you know, is pretty amazing, because I mean, we're just, you know, and we're not out of this thing by far yet. But I'd say about November the 4th we might be coming out of it pretty quick.
I think you might be right.
So, you know, saying that, just congratulations, you know, so.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day and all that, and I just kind of want to go over our second quarter bonus payouts, because we do pay out a tremendous amount of bonus money for safe driving, and this quarter was no exception, except for the fact that it was not near as much money being paid out as I wished it would have been. And really, one of the reasons was we only had 176 trucks that participated in the payout out of 381. And there was, you know, some reasons for that, but our payout was down to $103,000. I say that kind of putting it lightly. It was still $103,000 we paid out in safety bonuses, and you know what? I consider that great money to pay out, and I think anybody that's out there beating it up and down the road and dealing with the stuff that you have to deal with can do that safely and deliver the cargo safely and dodge all the idiots out there. Definitely deserves a bonus for it. So it was $103,000 in payout, and one of the reasons it was down so much, and I know Dale feels this pain and pushes this all the time, but we had 112 trucks in that quarter without a safety meeting. I never really understand that, because safety meetings are very easy. We've tried to make this thing as attainable as possible when it comes to really one of the just few requirements we have to obtain a safety bonus, but it's, you know, watching a video. So can't say we had 112 guys that didn't have 15 minutes to watch a video, you know, and make themselves an extra, what is it, Dale, 300, 400 bucks?
Yeah. 1%.
No. Yeah, so, yeah, 1% of whatever revenue they did. I mean, seems kind of ridiculous to me, but hey, some people don't like money. I'd like to pay it to them if they, you know, if they didn't have any claims, didn't have any CSA points. So, you know, spread the word. Talk about how much money you got in your pocket, and still make them buy you lunch.
Yep.
Yeah. The unfortunate part, and some of the reason there was some trucks that didn't get to participate in, is that our claims was about $60,000 higher this second quarter than it was last second quarter. So we still, and Jim knows this, he feels this pain about every time we talk. You know, we had claims upwards of around $230,000. So, and some of that was the reasons Dale was mentioning previously. So we've got to watch them claims. Mentioned that overhead a while ago earlier. I've seen the pictures on that. I mean, to me, stuff like that is just completely ridiculous. It was just a reel. Right? It was definitely avoidable. So measure your loads, measure, remeasure, measure them every morning. You never know when said airbag's inflated on you or something changed. I don't know, but measure. Anyway, not to end that with doom and gloom, we paid out over $103,000 in safety bonuses. So congratulations to everyone that got that check. Or got that money. I don't think it's a check anymore, is it? I think we just downloaded it.
Yeah.
We used to send out checks.
Right.
They even make checks anymore.
I don't know. I haven't seen a check in a long time.
I know. I ain't seen a paycheck in forever.
I know David, I know when I owe my kids money, if I give them like a check, it drives them, it's got to either be Venmo or PayPal or they don't want it. So you're right,
I know.
checks are like history now.
I don't get it, but you know what? You give me a good idea that maybe that's how I'm going to start paying my allowances. Give them a check. keep them humble.
That's right.
Let's see. The third thing I just wanted to mention was I'm hoping everyone got to look at the video that they made me do a couple weeks ago, and first thing you'll notice very obviously I'm not very good on video. Makes me look fat. But I enjoyed doing it, and I am pretty passionate about this whole video camera thing because I know that out of the dollar amounts I mentioned a while ago, there's money to be saved there with video evidence to exonerate a driver, because I know that, I mean, I'm looking at these things pretty well every day now, and I see all the time, you know, of the little things that we can catch that we can go back and fight, you know, some plaintiff's lawyer with, or not even have to be that. Could have been, it could have been things that just didn't happen because this guy didn't have a video, but the overhead we just had, for instance. I mean, there could have been a reason that he hit that didn't have anything to do with measuring the load or anything else. He could have had to make a swerve or something that, you know, we could have seen really what's going on, or maybe he just was running 70 miles down the road and, you know, hit the bridge. That kind of stuff, regardless of what the outcome of that was, it helps us either one in training, two in prevention stuff that we can put together to help it, you know, maybe coach on how not to let it happen again, them kind of things. But they're just right and left. Every time I turn around, there's things that we can use in videos for. So in that video I did, you know, I covered a lot of things, and it is a little long, but there's a lot of important stuff in there. And one of the things in there, and the point I was trying to get to, is that these cloud-based cameras, we've gotten to the point now where it's not really going to be an option for us. They have to go in the trucks. The insurance companies are requiring it, and they're requiring it for good reason, because they know that it works just like we do. And the guys that are on this call, and even those that are not, that have been involved in accidents where this video has helped them out, know exactly what I'm saying too, is that these things work. And when the insurance companies, we'd been getting away with guys running their own systems with SIM cards and so forth, but the problem with that was we was only able to collect something like 40% of the footage that was required, and you know, the insurance companies just like, well, if you can't give us the footage, you know, with a good reason why you can't give us the footage, then we've got to go to cloud-based. Luckily, we was already prepared for that, because our Keep Trucking cameras are cloud-based, and now our new Samsara cameras are cloud-based. Now, I answered a comment from a gentleman on the BME Ace drivers Facebook, I think it was yesterday, you know, that he was explaining that, you know, his camera was SIM card. It was a great camera, and he could download it on his computer and send out the video to the police or to Bennett and all that. And I agree 100%. And I do not discard the cameras that guys are running now that they're accustomed to, they're used to. But what we're going to ask is that you can keep them cameras, and I encourage you to do that, but run a cloud-based camera alongside it. And one of the reasons for that is redundancy. We've had numerous, too many for me to even recall, instances that the cameras was damaged so bad in the accident that you couldn't recover the footage. And not to say that even having two cameras that's gonna stop, but it's gonna definitely cut it down. Whereas one camera survived, maybe the cloud-based camera caught the footage, got it into the cloud in time for us to see what happened. Where the SIM card camera was destroyed, and once that little card's messed up, there's nothing there to retrieve. It can happen to a cloud-based camera too. We've had that happen. That the accident happened so fast that the camera got destroyed before the video actually got uploaded. But I think that's only happened one time that I can recall. So anyway, there's a lot of questions. I figured I'd get more questions about this camera thing after that video than I had, but I did a video, and I think I walked out of doing that video and I jumped in the motor coach and went to Sturgis for a week. So there might have been somebody trying to call me that I didn't get. I don't know. But I'm more than willing to answer any questions, and it's like I said in there, you can call me direct if you want to talk about it. But we're getting to the point where we're not having any choice but to do and ask what we're asking is to get these cloud-based cameras in the trucks. So that was a long-winded deal there. So I'll get off here and let you guys get back to business. All right?
Okay, David, thank you very much for covering all that, and thanks a lot for being on the call with us. Really appreciate your time.
All right, well, I'm going to hang out on here and, till you guys get finished. If anybody out there listening has got some conversation they want to have about dash cams or safety bonuses or anything else I can help with, I'll be here for you.
Okay, thanks, David.
I just want to remind everybody, if you do have a question or comment, *3. The queue is open right now. Well, let's go ahead and introduce Lauren. Lauren, what do you have for us today?
I'll give you a little update on the fuel. The good news is that the hurricane premium is already in what you're paying today. They bumped that up about 5 cents, and the guys that are following the fueling strategies did a heck of a job. We had a keep your tanks full yesterday, and we pumped 11,000 more gallons yesterday or fuel than we did in any other day. So that's a good sign. And there is the fueling strategy definitions by each one. There's 4 of them. Is in the August newsletter, so I encourage you to look at those. And if you have any questions, they're pretty self-explanatory, but if you have any questions, you can call me at the fuel office, or that I'll answer the phone for you. So, and then it's in terms of fuel pricing per se, this is what you have to look forward to. We're probably going to see this thing go back down. Where it's down today. And everything is driven off of course, supply and things of that nature. And they're having a heck of a time keeping it propped up at this point because we have a lot of supply right now. So any upward bump that you're seeing in price, other than like hurricanes, that's only due to speculation, and that's bumping that price up. Other than that, I want to talk a little bit to be real careful, and I took a closer look at the path of our friend Laura here. And so basically, if you'll imagine Highway 59 coming out of Houston, going up toward the Texarkana area, and then going up I-30, and then down south along I-10. Just be careful on that. Just double check your routing and on that, because we've got already starting to get a list of locations that will probably be closed or could be closed, and they're all within that little area there. The only ones we've seen on I-10 thus far is really over close to the line, the Texas-Louisiana line. But good job on that, on following the fueling strategies. The next thing I want to talk about was really just to reiterate our chains. And our chains, I added Jim to this new chain. Well, we've been doing it for a couple of years, but basically when you're looking at chains, we have 3 primary chains, with the Pilot Fly J's grouped into one group, and the TA and Petros and the Loves. But that is your sweet spot. Those chains are your sweet spot. Those are the ones that are based that when we came in 2008, we converted everything from a retail list to a wholesale, either cost plus or minus. And so, the today's average as of today is running around $1.90 net to you. The high in there is going to be the Pilot Fly J's at $1.93, and then the TA Petros, simply because where they're located and where you guys are utilizing them, is coming in at about $1.91. So keep those up. And in addition, you've got deals at the Sap Brothers, which have been very, very aggressive. So if you see a Sap Brothers, make sure you check your Fuelbook app and check that. And they're great locations. And also, a lot of people don't realize that all Cash Magic locations in Louisiana. So if you get caught, or you see somebody backed up and you see a Cash Magic and you need a quick fuel, you also have a wholesale deal at those locations. And then finally, just an update on the owner-operator advisory program. We're having really good responses from all the guys and ladies that have contacted me. But I wanted to stress one thing. We're not here to tell you how to run your business. That's not me. I will never do that. But I am here if you need somebody to just bounce a question, or if you have a question when you're going down the road and you need an answer, you can give me a call. And between my back office folks and in between what I call the think tank I have, which is now up to about 125 of the guys rolling up and down the road, and they're real good about responding. So if I have a question, they'll respond. So if you're wondering about anything, just send me an email or call me or whatever, and I'll get you an answer. And so today we're running, like I say, about 125, and we've got probably about 10 or 12. They're in the transition or conversion mode from self-proprietor to independent contractor to LLC. And so there's 2 ways to look at it. Some people like it because with that self-proprietor or the independent contractor, they can run 0 on their Schedule C. But we kind of hope that you look at the LLC so you can think long term. But we all know when it's down to wanting to buy that car, wanting to buy that house, or wanting to buy that ranch or whatever, it's the first thing they're going to ask for. They're going to want your Schedule C. If you're showing 0 on it, you won't get very far. So, but anyway, in that situation, we welcome all the ACE drivers to give me a call. I don't bite. I love talking to you guys, and we're here to help. And if you have any questions that you can't find an answer from, just look at us at that point, give me a call. And between Jim and all these great folks that are on this call, I'll get you an answer. I'll find you an answer. But finally, all I want to say is that Fuel Manager Services, we came in at 2008 and became a partner with Bennett, and it's been just a fantastic relationship for us. And I'm sure that it's the relationship you have, you can tell. We care about you. We want you to be the most profitable that you can be. And I really appreciate every one of you guys, and feel free to call us anytime. Thank you.
Lauren, thank you. I have one comment and one question, and this is a true story, just happened within the last 2 or 3 hours. We had a driver here leasing on today, and I won't mention where he was coming from, but it was one of our competitors. And I asked him, I said, so what brings you to Ace? Welcome, and I'm glad you're here. What primarily brought you to come to lease the Ace Doran? He said, your fuel discounts. He said, I was fueling next to one of your guys 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I know what I was getting through my carrier, and I think he said he was getting 19 cents. And the Ace guy that he was fueling next to got like 3 times that much on the discount. And this driver realized and saw what we were doing for our drivers, and he was here today signing his lease. So thanks to you, and thanks to David Lowry and ownership, for putting as much time and energy as y'all do into the fuel savings for the drivers. It truly makes a difference. So thank you. That's a 2 hours old story, and true. The other thing, just a quick question for you. So if a bunch of the offshore rigs get damaged in this storm, can we expect to see a dramatic spike in both diesel and gasoline, or not necessarily because reserves are so high?
Well, I think you'll do it. The traders will play that against us. You got 40% of your supply shut down right now. The good news is we haven't heard, and generally we kind of get trickled in information when it's this close, because it's going to hit tonight after midnight, probably AM. We'll know, and we'll have kind of be able to see what the damages are. But if you do have something that's damaged, we have a lot to work with really, but that doesn't stop the speculators. The speculators will go ahead and run it up, and then it'll take time to run it down. So at this point, I feel pretty good that we're probably not going to have any major interruptions. We have good supply, but in certain areas that can happen for sure. But at this point, I think we're in pretty good shape, just as long as we don't hear anything major like you were talking about. So
I see. Okay. Thanks. I knew you would know the answer. You're really involved in all that, so thanks. And thanks for everything you're doing. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you being on this call. Dale?
No problem. Pleasure.
Thank you, Jim. Well, let's go ahead and have Chad finish this up and bring the runners home. Chad?
Last but not least?
Yep. There's RBIs
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I tell you,
Hey,
I don't mind being the doormat after that esteemed crew just went today. So I'll be short and sweet, as I know we're coming up on our hour here. Happy to report that we've got 80% of our fleet that's either on the road or under assignment right now. So that's what David and Jim both were referring to earlier is if our drivers are out and working and servicing customers, servicing agents and company terminals, that can turn you around pretty quick. So appreciate all the owner-operators out there that are servicing our customers, our agents, and company terminals. I'm sure if we've got any company employees on the line or agents for that matter, I think you guys are starting to see that capacity is starting to tighten up just a little bit. So the national load-to-truck ratio this week is 32 to 1. So that's a huge uptick from where we were at when the pandemic started, and we're actually starting to knock on 2018's door where it was 40 to 1, and then we're well ahead of where we were at this time last year. 2019 it was 18 to 1. So just shows that we are starting to rebound here a little bit. And other than that, I wanted to kind of make mention to some Dale mentioned earlier on the claim side. It seems like we cannot get away from the bumper taps backing into the customers' property, personal vehicles, and that's the kind of stuff that just really is killing us right now. And just be cognizant of what's going on around you. I think David said it best. There's a bunch of idiots out there right now, and you guys are the true professionals, and we really appreciate what you guys have done to kind of get us on this rebound relatively quick. And still got a little ways to go, but you guys are doing a fantastic job, and appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Thank you, Chad. Currently, we do not have anyone in queue, so we'll just go ahead and wrap this up since we're coming up on the hour. I just wanted to thank everyone for dialing in. Appreciate you taking time out of your day and spending it with us. Trying to keep you informed on what's going on, the latest, and keep you atop of important items. So with that, I just want to sign off and say thank you, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe.
All right, thanks.